stay awake for too long. Don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee.
Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite summertime treats. In light of Memorial Day weekend right around the corner, that means it's summertime, right? So my favorite treat is fruit pizza. I love it in the summer because our fruit, like our strawberries, our blackberries, blueberries, are in season. So they make the perfect topping to this awesome dessert. To start, every good fruit pizza needs an awesome crust. So I'm going to show you how to make a brown sugar base cookie crust. To start, we're going to work with our dry ingredients in a medium-sized bowl. So we need 1.5 cups of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 whole teaspoon of baking powder. When we measure our flour, it's important that we don't pack it down in the cup because then we end up getting too much flour and that leaves our baked goods dry and crumbly. So you're going to see me use a smaller spoon to lightly spoon our flour into our 1/2 cup and then our full cup. You're also going to see me use, I just like to use a butter knife. You could use a flat-edged spatula to level off our flour. Back into our container so we don't end up wasting any. So there we have it, 1.5 cups of flour. We are using just 1/4 teaspoon of our salt. Salt browns out the flavor in our cookie recipe. If you are choosing to use salted butter, you're actually going to want to scale back on that salt, maybe just 1/8 teaspoon. Next, 1 whole teaspoon of our baking powder. Don't forget we have a natural leveler on the side of this, so we get exactly 1 teaspoon. And then I'm going to take my whisk and lightly incorporate our 3 dry ingredients so they're all mixed in together. Next, I'm going to move on to my wet team. We start with a 1/2 cup or 1 whole stick of unsalted butter. Again, if you're using the salted butter, just scale back on your 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Next, we're going to add 1/2 cup of our brown sugar. Brown sugar needs to be packed. So as you can see, this kept its shape as I dumped it into our bowl. Next, you're going to cream the butter and the brown sugar together. Creaming is a method that involves fat, such as butter in this recipe, and sugar, and mixing it together until it is light and fluffy. During this step, you're actually adding air to the dough, so this will help leaven our cookies, make them a little lighter, a little fluffier. When we cream, I like to use the back of my spoon, and every so often I take a knife, a butter knife, and scrape off the brown sugar and the butter. Continue to cream this until light and fluffy. So you can see that our butter and our brown sugar is almost evenly creamed together. We still have a little streak of butter in there, so I'm going to work that out, and then we'll be ready to add in our other wet ingredients. We are ready to add our 1 egg. I like to crack and whisk the egg in a separate bowl. This helps if we get any eggshells. It's easily scooped out in a separate bowl. And when we whisk the egg separately, we break up that yolk already, so we don't have to worry about breaking it up as we're mixing it into our creamed brown sugar and butter mixture. Next, we're going to add our extracts. We have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Make sure you pour this away from the top of your bowl in case some likes to escape. And optional, 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. And go ahead and mix in the rest of our wet ingredients to our egg in our butter brown sugar mixture. So I like to use brown sugar in our brown sugar based pizza crust because brown sugar is sugar with molasses, and that makes cookies a little chewier than they normally would be with just using white sugar. And I'm a fan of chewy, soft cookies. So that's why I've chosen the brown sugar based cookie recipe. So your wet ingredients should look well incorporated. I don't see any bits of butter, clumps of brown sugar, egg bits in there. It's pretty much all mixed. When you get to this point, you can add in your dry ingredients. So now is the part where we don't want to overmix because then our cookie can get tough because we overdeveloped the gluten network in the flour. So you just want to mix until this is all incorporated. Okay, so I've mixed in our dry ingredients in with our wet, and now we are ready to add it to our pizza pan. So you will want to grease your pizza pan, or you can grease a cookie sheet, a 9x13 pan, whatever you got in your house. I like to use the wrapper of our butter stick because why not? You're just going to throw it away anyways. So this is nice and greased, and I'm just going to scrape as much as I can out of the bowl onto our pizza pan cookie sheet. The dough will be a little sticky, so just be aware. Next, you just want to lightly press down your dough so it is about a 1/2 inch thick. So what I ended up doing, I broke out my butter wrapper again, and I used that to kind of help me form this into a circle. The butter wrapper is nice and greasy, so it's not going to stick to this as much as it will stick to your fingers. So you just want to try to make sure that your cookie height is uniform throughout so it cooks evenly. Next, you're going to pop this in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for anywhere between 15 to 18 minutes. I'm going to start out with 15, and I'll know it's done by the nice golden rim that will form around our crust. So I kept an eye on my cooking, and our brown based sugar cookie crust only ended up cooking for 13 minutes. So as soon as you see this gold forming around the edges, you know it's good to go. We don't want to overcook our crust because then it ends up being crumbly, crackly, dry, and that does not make for a good fruit pizza. After you take this out of the oven, you want it to completely cool before you add your frosting and your fruit on top. In the meantime, as your crust is cooling, you can prepare your fruit and your topping. So our topping consists of vanilla flavored Greek yogurt and whipped topping. You can use Cool Whip or you can get the generic store brand. Optional is also some lemon zest. I think just this adds a nice flavor to our topping. So you will first add 1.5 cups of your whipped topping. This comes in the freezer section of your grocery store, so you want to make sure that you thaw it in the fridge at least 2 hours before you go to use it, or it'll still be frozen. And then after we get in our 1.5 cups of the whipped topping, we're going to add just a 1/4 cup of our Greek yogurt, and this is to thicken up our icing. There are a lot of icings out there. Some will have pudding in them, some will include cream cheese. I like to use whipped topping vanilla yogurt base because it makes it nice and light for us. And then I'm going to grab my zester and a clean lemon and just zest about a 1/2 teaspoon. And again, this is optional, but I think it adds a really nice flavoring to our icing. You can always add some zest on top of your pizza after it's topped with your fruit. It adds a really nice garnish. Alright, that's about a 1/2 teaspoon. I don't want to overdo a good thing. And then you're just going to mix this with a spoon, lightly fold in our whipped topping with our yogurt, and then we'll put it on our cookie. All right, after this is all mixed in, we're ready to add this to our pizza. So you can make it like a real pizza and save some room for the crust, but I'm a big fan of this icing, so I'm going to spread it around nice and evenly and just leave a little crust area. And you can just take the back of your spoon, you can use a spatula. So I kind of cleaned up the sides of our sugar cookie pizza with a butter knife, so it kind of looks like a nice even topping. And now we're ready to add our fruit. So you can't go wrong with fruit choices. I'm working with strawberries today, some blueberries, and then I also sliced up some kiwi. When you're slicing these, you want to be very careful that you get them into very thin slices so they don't weigh down your pizza and they look nice and elegant as a topping. So today I am having my sister, super talented Barbie Sasser, come and join me and help us with topping our pizza. Come on over here, Barbie. I'm just gonna give her a quick shout out. She's been the brains behind all of this. She's videotaped me, she's helped me edit these videos, and I could not have done this without her. So round of applause for Barbie, and we're ready to get started. All right, our beautiful fruit pizza is ready for serving. It's best served immediately. If you want, you can store it in your fridge up to 24-48 hours, keeping in mind that our pizza might get a little soggy after a day or two in the fridge. If you want to make this Memorial Day themed, feel free to just do our red, white, and blue. You can add in some bananas if you'd like. Really, you can't go wrong with the fruit. Okay, the moment of truth, the taste test. Oh yeah. Highly recommend adding that lemon zest to your frosting. Takes it to the next level. Enjoy, guys.